Alright, so a couple people have requested for a video that takes us around the garage, a tour of the garage, just how I have everything set up. I also want to talk about some future plans and ideas and bounce some stuff off you guys, see what you think about it. Weigh in the comments, see what anything and everything that you can dream up, try to make this space into something epic. So right now it's awesome. Everybody loves the garage. It's just usually for the most part my detailing bay, and there's a lot of other stuff that I do in here, but for the most part just for the cars and just for basic stuff around the house. If I need big projects or I have big projects, I'll go out to the shop, and we'll do a tour of the shop soon. But we'll go around and talk about everything around the garage and my thoughts on the future and exactly where we're going to go with this project, because it's going to be a pretty good one. So if you haven't watched my other videos, this is a 25 by 25 fully insulated two-car garage. I would love to take out the center here and do a full garage door, a custom wide garage door, so that the whole thing was the garage door would be epic. Take out the footer right there in the middle. We'd have to probably put an LVL beam over the top to handle all the weight. But there's storage trusses up here, so I have a lot of storage from the house and everything up in the attic. So it's a nice space. So let's go ahead and I'll take over the camera, and then we'll talk about everything and exactly what I do with it. So I hope I was in frame there for the most part. Obviously you know where I was standing. So this is my detailing corner. I'd eventually like to have the entire thing as a detailing garage. But for the most part, this is where all of my supplies sit. So this shelf is an old plastic shelf that I had, and I just put a particle board on the shelves so that it would hold all the bottles in a good way, so they weren't tipping over and stuff. I keep my wash buckets on the bottom, and then I go to my gallons of product, and then I'm up into my sprays and my cleaners, and I try to keep them as organized as possible. I have a lot of old products. Some of these things I don't even use anymore. I need to just go through and purge. But I like to organize them in different ways so that I can keep track of everything. My waxes and my polishes and stuff like that. Canon soap. Over to my pegboard. I like to organize with pegboard. A lot of the times, obviously, that means that all of your stuff is out in the open and it's not necessarily put away. That's why I was thinking about getting cabinets, stuff like that. I didn't want this to be a horribly long video. Just wanted to do a quick tour of the shop, going over everything. This Craftsman shop vac that I use is worth the mention. This is the wall hanging 5-gallon, and it is an awesome machine, especially for all around just ease of use. I should have made a video about it earlier when I was vacuuming out the car, but I keep my dual action polisher in there, some other stuff for just overall working on the vehicles. I have a window here that I cover up for privacy issues, just in case. Pressure washer sits here. I have my chain rack for all my chainsaws. So all the chains hanging on the bottom are dull, and all the chains hanging on the top are sharp. So that's just how I organize them, and I have my 25-inch, 20-inch, 18, 13. And then I keep all of my chainsaw stuff up above. So I put in a little shelf over the window, kind of get it off the floor. The reason I brought them in here, it was not originally a plan of mine to bring them in here, but they were out in the garden shed. They were unsecured, and they were not, the area wasn't conditioned, so I didn't have air conditioning or heat in the winter, and I didn't like to keep the saws out there. When you have thousands of dollars worth in saws, you want them to stay inside. So that's basically where I'm at with that. Coat rack, self-explanatory, right? I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to keep with the theme of the signs on the wall and stuff like that. I used to be into all that kind of stuff, signs and posters, things like that, but at the end of the day, I might be graduating on past that look. So just trying to figure it out. Here's some storage for the lanterns that I hang on the deck in the summer. Obviously my brooms and dustpans and stuff like that, chairs, that I'll probably just use the attic space for that. When I was riding motorcycles, I was keeping my jacket and all of my stuff, my gear and my boots, my boot dryer, all in this cabinet. And now I don't even use it. It holds trash bags. So that's something that can go. I have my pegboard over the bench that could honestly be kept in a neater place. I would like to do some cabinets with a stainless steel top, a couple cabinets on each side, or maybe tall cabinets over on this side, do full-length tall cabinets, and then two small ones with a stainless steel top. I store all my microfibers down here underneath the bench, so all of the junk ones, or what I call the C and D towels, they stay not folded, and everything else is folded as I work on stuff and I clean. So this heater is a small little soulless air heater that I've been using out here. I have a floor blower fan behind it to push the air out faster and further, and I have actually wired a thermostat into it. So the thermostat here on the wall, it actually controls my heater. So as you can see, it's 70 degrees in here. Very nice space. Stays nice and warm. My refrigerator right next to it. I'd probably incorporate the refrigerator into another cabinet or something like that. So carrying on, it's the only place I store my wet tile saw, my air compressor for airing up tires and simple stuff like that can be done up here. My basket for all of the car supplies that I usually keep in the trunk, but since it's cold outside, I don't want them to freeze. A sink that I've rigged up with all of the things to go with the washer and dryer. So the washer and dryer had originally come from the house, and I went and upgraded to black stainless up at the house, so I brought these out here. And as you can see, the white drain comes down and goes over. I have it tapped into the washer, and then my vent, or my drain pipe, goes along the wall and out here. And we'll talk about that more once we get over there. But then my other supply hose comes over here, and I have it teed off behind the washer to supply the water to the washer and the water to the sink. I have speakers up in both corners. I have the speaker up over here, speaker up over here. I was running an AV system out here, but I've actually just started using these Sonos speakers. This is a black Sonos Play 1, and it pretty much does everything I'd ever want it to. By the way, my clock is not correct. I need to put batteries in both of my clocks because they stopped at about the same exact time. And this one is just sitting there, barely goes around. I got my stoplight, more signs on the wall. So that's kind of what I was thinking about graduating on past, is yes, I have a lot of signs, I have a lot of stuff to put on the walls, but I really just want them to be all bare, sleek, and white. So this is my setup for detailing. These are 6500 Kelvin lights. The best light you can have for detailing, showing scratches, and kind of really makes you OCD. Where I came from in my previous home, I had a bunch of these 4-foot, 4-foot fluorescents. I had them sitting around. They were all piled in the attic. Then I got to burr up my butt to go ahead and put them all up on the wall. So you can just see how bright they are. If I turn the camera towards it, the camera pretty much closes the shutter. They're so bright. But great for detailing because you can pull the car in here like I have in many videos. And you can see just about any and every imperfection in it. So it's nice. And then I just have them, rigged up with a little plug that I plug into the wall. It goes into my conduit, boxes. Just have a switch here, and it goes along with 4 outlets. And I just plug my lights into the outlet, braided them to the wall. So really simple design, put it on the wall. I'll probably keep the exact design when I paint the walls white. And I can unplug it and utilize the plug if I want to. So, as I said before, we'll talk about this drain. So I've sloped it down towards the end of the slab here. So where I've come out here is a sump pump hose, and I have it threaded into a piece that slips on the end and glues on the end of your PVC. So then all I do is run these out the door, and they sit outside. So my supply hose comes in and it quick disconnects into my system, and then I just turn the water on, and boom, I have water to the sink and dryer. And then when it wants to drain out, all it does is come down the drain and right out the door. So easy setup. Maybe I'll hard plumb some stuff in the future. I plan to double insulate both of these doors while I have them. Do some rigid foam panels. I'd like to just get rid of this shelf altogether. And if I could one day put an entire door in here, just make it all one door. Be quite nice. So those are the things I'm working with. It's a little tour of the garage. One thing I did not talk about was my dryer. So my dryer obviously needs somewhere to exit all the hot air. So I didn't want to drill a hole in the log siding and put a louver out there. So what I did was I made a box, just made a standard box out of plywood, and I rigged it up to have my dryer vent hose go right into it, and it has a filter on it that keeps back all of the lint and all of the crap that comes through the dryer. And I estimate that I get about 10,000 BTU when I'm running the dryer on high. So I do get quite a bit of heat off of it. So yeah, this is the garage. I'm thinking about going to all white. I would really like to go to a white epoxy floor. Do something like that, grind the floor. My other option was, I was thinking about acetone dye. I'm not exactly sure where I'll go with it. I don't know if acetone dye is going to give me the look that I want. It sure will be shiny, but it won't be white and glossy. I want everything to reflect light. I want it to be really, really bright in here for detailing projects. So, a fan I installed. My 8-foot bulbs are also 6500 Kelvin. And then I just have 4 LED actual light bulbs that I'm not even sure why I keep them, but I do. And they're all on the same switch. So I have 2 8-foot sections here, and then my fan is on a separate control, and I have 8-foot section here for in between the cars. So I've pulled the Merc out. The Merc usually sits in this side of the garage. The Land Rover sits over here in this side of the garage. So I just pull them out and work on whatever I need to, and then pull them back in. So all white, maybe do some cabinets over here, some big tall cabinets that will hold all of this stuff and be sleek and put away and look really nice. Maybe come up with something for my pressure washer so it's not out. Have my shop vac inside a cabinet. Hide all of this stuff, make it a lot more sleek and modern, and get rid of all the kind of clutter. When you organize on a pegboard, it kind of looks like clutter, and like my garage really isn't cluttered. It's organized, it's clean, and it just still doesn't look like the kind of garage that I want it to. So get my cabinets in here to match the washer and dryer. Put some shelving up. My TV, if some of you don't know, I actually got that TV for $25. Buffalo Wild Wings was changing out all of their TVs, and they were selling them for $25 a piece. So I bought 6 of them. I've used 2 of them, and the other ones I sold off. I think I still have one tucked away somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but I tucked it away in some storage, and still have one of them. It's a plasma. It hangs up there in front of the window, so that's another window there. So it's a great slate to work with. I'd really love if you guys weighed in the comments. I did an Instagram post about it a while back. Got a lot of great feedback. See what everybody is thinking about on it, and maybe some ideas lead me to some other people's garages that that you like, and we'll see what we go, where we go with it. But yeah, that's a tour of the main garage. This is my little two garage at the Durbin compound. So hopefully in the next couple days I'll take you guys down to the shop. It's my 30 by 40 building. I think it might be 30 by 50 building, and we'll go through down there, and we'll talk about where I've been with it, how I thought when we were building that. So thanks for watching. As always, if you like, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to keep you guys updated with everything I'm doing around here. I just got done with a maintenance wash on the Merc, so I'm gonna go edit some videos. So I'll see you guys next video. Thanks for watching.